seaport, healthcare, and so forth.
I think that each community needs to decide their own fate. I live in an incorporated area. I live in Pinecrest. I lived in an unincorporated area for many, many years, which was Saga Bay, which is now incorporated, but I lived in it while it was unincorporated, and moved out of it right when the vote was going on. So I can tell you that I've experienced both. I think that every community has a right to vote on their own decision, and I think that the process should be democratic, and that's my position on it.
Okay, thank you very much. Still no comment, Mr. Corey?
The comments are that the annexation and incorporation or redistricting are carefully reviewed on his website.
Okay.
We're welcome with that to be more fair to him.
Very good. What is your position on the growing movement in our nation by local communities and states to involve local police more and more in policing and enforcing the federal immigration laws? And you're going to have 1 minute each.
The Arizona law, as it stands, was most of the major components of that Arizona law was stricken by a federal judge. The Arizona law is already a federal law. It's in the books. And why do municipalities don't go through the process of going through the database that's already there available from Homeland Security? Is because it's more paperwork for the police officers, and it's not cost effective for them. They rather give out the ticket and move on to the next one. So the Arizona law is already in the federal books, but we are a nation of laws, and we should have enforced our laws as they are written, whether they're federal, state, or local laws.
The Arizona law is a law that tried to encroach into a federal law. However, I do not agree with it. However, I will tell you that I am extremely disappointed that the federal elected officials in Washington have not acted on a very, very much needed immigration reform.
Diversity is the strength of this community. Whether you're from Cuba or Peru, whether you're from New York or Ohio. There's a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds that come here. But one of the things that we have to watch out for in encroaching on your budgets, and let me just put it in that sense, is unfunded mandates. And you know, it's a trickle-down effect. Remember the old trickle-down? Well, you know, we have a federal government that should be enforcing the federal laws. We have our local police, and we have our priorities here. We want to keep people safe. We want to provide a presence. Pinecrest has saturation policing. Miami-Dade County does an excellent job with their police department. But we can't enforce the laws up there. We need to have dignity. We need to have good quality. Keep hitting me with these colors here. We need to have quality immigration reform. We need to have reasonable laws that are enforceable. But if you're going to make us fund them, we need funding from the feds. Don't put that on the backs of our taxpayers here.
I agree with Gene and much of what was said here. We have a situation where diversity is what makes this country great. But we'll always feel divided about it when the law is not enforced. That is a federal law, though, at the federal level. And I'm trying to imagine Director Loftus, who's doing a great job as Director of Public Safety for Miami-Dade County, what he would say to have to do something else with his dwindling resources. He's got a situation where he's not hiring. Through attrition, he's losing positions of public safety officers on the street. And for him to have to do something else right now, at this level, is ridiculous. And it's amazing that they're doing the great job that they are doing right now with shrinking and shrinking resources. To add something else onto that just doesn't make sense. The problem needs to be solved at the level that it was created, The federal government is the one that's not enforcing immigration laws. Go to any other country in the world and describe what we have here, the level of flouting the laws of immigration, they can't understand it. That's a federal issue.
Okay. This is going to be hard for you to do in 1 minute or less. Do your best, okay? My timekeeper is doing his job. How would you help resolve the budget problems the county continues to face? They're getting better as we go along.
Okay, good. I can't wait to the last one. And you know what? We're doing a good pace here. It's actually good. We haven't answered this many questions. I didn't think we could do it in the 1 minute. Well, I alluded to some of the businesses starting from the top down, right? For sure, you got to do that. And you got to do something else. You got to change the cultural expectations of a manager in county government. We were speaking about that last night in another forum, the notion, well, okay, a government job is one where, you know, maybe the pay isn't so high, but you get good benefits, and something else, you don't lose your job. Well, a lot of things have changed. You get paid a lot to be a manager in Miami-Dade County right now. I think what we should change first is that you shouldn't get to keep your job unless you do better and better. This is a great time to hire new people. There's a lot of folks out there looking for work, hungry, who are willing to try and do a better job. Why don't we give them a chance? Why don't we bring some folks in there whose job is dependent upon their ability to do better than we've done before? And start at the top with a county manager and go right on down and get folks in there whose seat in that office is dependent upon doing better. Let them loose and let them rise or fall based upon their performance.
It's unfortunate that it takes a crisis to bring on the attention. I keep talking about it. Budgets have to be done every year, and one's being done right now, whether we like it or not, that's going to take effect with the next fiscal year, which begins August 1st of 2010. October 1st, what did I say? October 1st. August 1st, yeah. Yeah, I got August on the mind. All right. I get those seconds back, don't I? No, but in all seriousness, we need to go back and take a 3-year look. It's going to take that long. It's a $7 billion budget. There's a lot of shoes that need to drop. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made. There's a lot of town hall meetings that need to be held, because if your programs that you want are being cut, you need to understand why. If you see a level of employees, whether they're administrators, directors, or elsewhere in there, contractors, you need to understand why. And we need to reevaluate. Again, go back and look at ourselves as a consumer of goods and services. We need to take a realistic look at what we have and what we can afford, and then you have to decide what you need to pay. And it's that simple, and it's that complicated.
I think we've answered this question in another forum a little bit earlier, but obviously we have to start from the top and restructure the size of government and how the perception of government is laid out in Miami-Dade County. Two things. One, public safety cannot be an option. Public safety has to be in place at all time. We need to protect the citizens of Miami-Dade County through our firefighters and our police officers. Now, why are they 5 different housing finance or housing departments within the county? We need to consolidate the size of the county one area at a time. And it's going to be a difficult task, but it can be done because business does it all the time. Isn't that right, Albert?
You're right, we sort of answered this question, but it's a matter of prioritizing, and we definitely have to go through the budget. They're going to do it before one of us gets there, but it's a matter of just making sure we have our priorities straight. And unfortunately, up to now, they haven't. They keep going to the bottom instead of going to the top, like we said, and it should start at the top. In addition to that, I already said, we definitely need to stop the perks and the travel junkets, and there's certain departments that are not necessary, that definitely can be completely eliminated, such as the international travel junket department, as I like to call it. It is completely unnecessary.